My parents handed my sister a luxury villa and left me a bare parking lot. You can always sleep under the stars, they giggled. But when I turned it into an enterprise, they wanted a piece. I should have known this dinner was a setup. My parents never invited me over unless they had a reason, usually to remind me how much of a letdown I was. But I went anyway, holding on to that foolish hope that maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. I work as a mechanic, nothing fancy, but I'm skilled at it. I fix things, get paid, and keep to myself. Meanwhile, my sister Chloe, their perfect angel, never worked a real job in her life. Everything was given to her. She could burn their house down, and they'd still find a way to blame me. So I walk in, and Chloe's already there, sipping wine like she owns the place. Father's at the table, flipping through the newspaper. Mother's in the kitchen, pretending to be busy to avoid looking at me. Wow, Chloe grins. You actually showed up. Took the night off from changing tires. I ignore her and sit. Mother said it was important. Father finally folds his paper. It is. We've decided to divide our assets. Chloe lights up instantly. She knows she's getting something big. Mother smiles at her. We're giving you the beach house, sweetheart. Chloe gasps, clutching her chest like she's won a prize. Oh my gosh, the one in Monterey. Mother nods. Yes, honey, it's yours. I sit there, waiting. There's got to be something for me too, right? Father turns to me, expression flat. And you, Ethan, we're giving you the parking lot. Silence. I blink. The what? The old lot on 8th Street. Mother says, waving a hand like she's doing me a favor. It's land. You can figure something out. Chloe bursts out laughing. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. She turns to me with a grin. Well, at least you'll always have a place to sleep under the stars. Father chuckles. That lot's been bare for years, but maybe you can open a lemonade stand or something. Mother sighs. Ethan, you always say you want to build something for yourself. Now's your chance. I stare at them. This wasn't even an insult disguised as kindness. It was straight up garbage. A memory flashes. Me at 16, coming home covered in grease from my first job at the auto shop. I was so proud, holding my first paycheck, excited to show them I was working hard. Chloe was on the couch, whining about wanting a new car for her birthday. Father didn't even look at me. You're gonna smell like oil forever, huh? Mother shook her head. Well, at least he's useful. Maybe one day he'll fix your car for free. Chloe never had to work. They bought her a brand new BMW that same week. And now, years later, nothing had changed. I take a slow breath and push back from the table. You're serious? Father shrugs. Be grateful we're giving you anything. Chloe giggles. Maybe one day you'll earn enough to buy a real property. They start laughing like it's the funniest thing ever. I grip the chair so hard my knuckles turn white, but I don't yell. I just nod. Okay. Mother frowns. That's it. No thank you. I stand. Oh, I'll make something of it. I look at Chloe. And when I do, don't come knocking. She rolls her eyes. Sure, Ethan. Can't wait to see what you do with a slab of concrete. Father shakes his head, muttering, always so dramatic. I walk out without another word. Fine. They thought they could shame me. I'd turn that worthless lot into something they'd never expect, and they'd regret every word. I stood in front of that parking lot, staring at it like it was a cruel joke. Cracked pavement, weeds sprouting through the asphalt, a rusted sign barely clinging to its post. My parents didn't just screw me over, they laughed while doing it. Fine. They wanted me to fail. I'd make sure they choked on their words. The next morning, I filed for permits to allow food trucks. If this was just a slab of concrete, I'd make it a profitable one. Within a week, I had contracts with top local food truck owners, tacos, burgers, coffee, even vegan bowls for the hipsters. I took a small loan from my boss at the auto shop, a guy who valued hard work, and used it to set up lights, seating, music, and banners to make the place real. 3 weeks later, that useless lot was a thriving food court with live music and lines around the block. That's when the fun began. About a month in, after the place went viral on social media, I saw her, Mother, in her pricey coat, looking around like she'd walked into a dump. I was checking inventory when she approached. So this is what you've done, she said, wrinkling her nose at the crowd enjoying their meals. I didn't bother looking at her. Yeah, well, you gave me trash, so I made it work. She exhaled sharply, clearly unimpressed. This isn't a real enterprise, she said. It's just a fad, right? I laughed. A fad that's making more money than Chloe's influencer gigs. Her face twitched, and as if on cue, Chloe rounded the corner. She stopped dead, her smug grin vanishing as she took in the place. "What on earth?" she snapped. "You turned this into some kind of, what is this, a flea market?" I grinned. "It's called a successful enterprise." She scoffed. "This is a joke. This isn't real money." I gestured around. "Yeah? Then why are hundreds of people spending their money here every night?" A few customers clapped. Chloe's face turned red. "Mother, say something," she whined. Mother cleared her throat. "Ethan, we're just concerned. This doesn't seem stable." I raised an eyebrow. "Stable like the fully furnished beach house you handed Chloe for free?" Chloe cut in quickly. "You can't sell this. This is family property." I let out a short laugh. "Oh, now it's family property? That's funny. When you were all laughing at me, I don't recall hearing family in the conversation." Her jaw clenched. "This isn't fair," she snapped. "You didn't earn this." I turned to face her slowly. "You're seriously saying that to me?" She crossed her arms, but her confidence wavered. "I'm just saying, selling it would betray the family." I tilted my head. "When you dumped it on me as a joke, that wasn't betrayal?" Mother looked like she was searching for words, then found them. "Well," she said carefully, "if this enterprise is doing so well, maybe we should discuss a partnership." I stared, then laughed loudly. So loud a few customers turned to look. "You're kidding, right?" I asked. "You ignored me, shamed me, gave me nothing, and now that I've made something, you want a piece?" Chloe crossed her arms. "It's family money now." I stepped forward, looking her in the eye. "You already got your share," I said coldly. "Live with it." Then, without another word, I turned my back on them and walked into my enterprise, leaving them standing like statues. They thought they could break me, but I was just getting started. It started with a phone call. I was in my office, a small, converted shipping container at the edge of my thriving food truck park, when my phone buzzed. "Mother." I stared at the screen before declining. A minute later, another call. Then another. I grinned. They needed something. By now, my food truck park was the hottest spot in town. Live music, weekend events, VIP sections, influencers lining up to get in. I was earning more in a month than I used to in a year at the auto shop. And suddenly, my family, who had laughed in my face, couldn't stop calling. A few days later, I was at the lot overseeing a delivery when I heard a voice that made my skin crawl. "Ethan." I turned. Chloe. She stood there, arms crossed, but not smug this time, desperate. I raised an eyebrow. "Well, you actually came to the parking lot." "Car breakdown." She exhaled sharply. "I need to talk to you." I checked my watch. 5 minutes. "Make it quick." Her jaw clenched, but she swallowed her pride. "I need to sell the beach house." I blinked. "The same beach house you gloated about." She ignored that. "The market's bad, and I need money fast." I grinned. "Let me guess. Too many luxury trips, designer bags, and overpriced lattes?" She stiffened. "It's complicated," she muttered. "Just say you'll help." I leaned against a food truck, crossing my arms. "Help how?" She hesitated. "I need $200,000 to cover debts before I can list it." I whistled. "That's rough." I turned back to my delivery and waved over the driver. "Good luck with that." She grabbed my arm. "Are you serious? You have the money." I pulled away. "Oh, now my enterprise is real enough for you to beg for a loan?" Her face turned red. "Ethan, we're family." I laughed. "Funny. Last time we talked, you called me a joke. Where's that energy now?" She opened her mouth, then closed it. "I'll pay you back," she said quietly. "Please." I stared for a long moment, then leaned in. No, her eyes widened. "No." I smiled. "That's right. The same way you, mother, and father said no when I needed support. The same way you laughed in my face. So, no. Chloe, I won't bail you out." She stepped back, shocked, then rage flooded in. "Are you serious? You're just going to let me fail?" I shrugged. "Not my problem." And I walked away. But it wasn't over. A week later, I pulled into my lot and saw my parents standing there. Mother looked irritated, father tired. "Ethan," Mother started, "we need to talk." I sighed. "Let me guess. Chloe ran crying to you. And now you're here to talk sense into me." Mother pursed her lips. "This is serious." Father spoke. "We need your help, son." I raised an eyebrow. "Son? Oh, now I'm your son again." Mother sighed. "Your father's business isn't doing well. We're in financial trouble." I fought the urge to smile. "Oh, You mean the family that handed Chloe a mansion and gave me a piece of concrete is struggling? Who could have seen that coming? Mother's nostrils flared. Don't be childish, Ethan. I tilted my head. Childish like laughing in someone's face when they're struggling. Father groaned. We don't need a lecture. We need a loan. There it was. I rubbed my chin. How much? Mother swallowed. 500,000. I laughed. No way. 500,000. Father nodded, looking exhausted. You're successful now. You can afford it. I crossed my arms. Oh, so now I'm successful? Mother snapped. Don't be a brat, Ethan. We're your family. I let that hang, then smiled. Let me tell you about family. I stepped closer. Family doesn't mock you when you're struggling. Another step. Family doesn't treat you like a joke. One more. Family doesn't show up only when they need something. Mother's face paled. Father muttered, Ethan, please. I exhaled and shook my head. You made your choices. I gestured to my lot, my success, my empire. And I made mine. Then I stepped back. I'm not giving you a cent. Mother gasped. You ungrateful person. I held up a hand. No, we're done. I turned to go. Ethan, Father called. If you walk away from this. I paused, turned back. If I walk away. I repeated. You mean like you walked away from me? Silence. Then I nodded. That's what I thought. And I left them standing there. My revenge wasn't just saying no. It was making sure they watched me win. I thought I was done with them. I'd been clear. No money. No help. No second chances. But people like my parents and Chloe don't take no well. Sure enough, they came back swinging. It started small, bad reviews online. I was checking my phone when I saw the first one, *1 star. This place is overrated. Food's overpriced, and the owner is rude. Avoid. Then another, *1 star. Terrible experience. Unprofessional staff, and the place smells like trash. And another, *1 star. Don't support this business. The owner is a selfish, ungrateful person who doesn't care about family. I chuckled. Nice try, Mother. She always played the victim, throw you under the bus, then act like the injured party. I could picture her in the kitchen, furiously typing fake reviews between sips of her pricey wine. But they didn't stop there. A few days later, a city inspector showed up. Anonymous complaint, he said, looking almost embarrassed. Someone reported your permits might not be up to code. I nodded. Let me guess, a middle-aged woman and her spoiled daughter? He scratched his head. I can't say who filed it, but you seem to know. I knew exactly who. Then another complaint, about my seating area allegedly violating space rules. Then one about noise levels. Then another about food safety. They were trying to bury me in red tape, drown me in fines, kill my enterprise before it could grow. But I'm not that easy to break. Instead of panicking, I fought back. I hired a lawyer. Every permit, license, and regulation was checked, rechecked, and locked down so tight the inspector admitted there was nothing wrong. I doubled my marketing. If they wanted to ruin my reputation, I'd drown them out with positivity. I ran special events, giveaways, live performances. I invited local influencers to VIP tasting nights. I expanded. If they thought I was a problem before, they had no idea what was coming. I rented extra space next door for an outdoor beer garden. I partnered with local artists for weekend craft markets. Their sabotage attempt became free publicity, and business boomed. Then Chloe made her biggest mistake. It was a Saturday night, the busiest of the week. The air buzzed with music, laughter, and the smell of fresh tacos. Lines stretched out the lot. The place was packed. Then I heard shouting near the entrance. This place is a joke. I turned. Chloe, drunk, hair a mess, makeup smudged, designer dress wrinkled like she'd been crying in her car. Mother was behind her, grabbing her arm. Chloe, stop this. Chloe ripped away. I can't believe you think you're better than us, she screamed. A few customers pulled out their phones. I smiled. Perfect. I walked toward her, voice calm. Chloe, leave. She stumbled closer. You think you're a big shot now, huh? You're a mechanic playing businessman. I grinned. I don't have to think it. I am. Her face twisted with rage. You're nothing. Nothing. And then, splash. I didn't see it coming. She grabbed a drink from a customer's table and threw it at me. Cold beer hit my chest. The lot went silent. A second later, 2 security guards tackled her to the ground. The crowd gasped and whispered. Mother screamed, let her go. She's your sister. I brushed my soaked shirt and turned to my head of security. Call the cops. Chloe's eyes widened. What? No, Ethan, don't. I crouched down, voice low. Actions have consequences. 10 minutes later, blue and red lights flashed across the lot. Mother was hysterical. You're ruining the family name, she shrieked. I laughed. Lady, you did that yourselves. Chloe was put in the back of the cop car, crying, begging. She looked like I did years ago when they shamed me. But unlike them, I didn't care. Mother turned to me, voice shaking. This is your sister. Do something. I crossed my arms. Oh, you mean like how you did something when you gave me nothing and laughed in my face? She had no answer. I turned, walking back to my customers. Oh, I called over my shoulder. Hope the beach house is worth it. And I went back to my thriving enterprise. They wanted to watch me fail. Now they had front row seats to my success. After Chloe's drunken meltdown and arrest, I thought they'd get the message. I was wrong. A week later, Mother and Father showed up at my business again. They weren't smug or laughing. They looked desperate. I was in a meeting with my event planner when I spotted them hovering near the entrance, awkward and out of place. For years, I'd felt small around them. Never enough, never worthy. Now I was in control. I finished my meeting, let them wait, then walked over, arms crossed. You're back, I said casually. Let me guess. Chloe sent you because she's too embarrassed to face me. Father cleared his throat. We need to talk, Ethan. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, like the talk when you laughed in my face and handed me garbage while giving Chloe a mansion? Mother pursed her lips. This isn't about the past. I chuckled. It's all about the past. If you hadn't treated me like dirt, you wouldn't be begging for help. Her eye twitched, but she forced calm. We're in trouble. I already knew. Chloe had maxed out her credit cards trying to keep up appearances. Her beach house was nearing foreclosure after refinancing it 3 times for her influencer lifestyle. Father's business was bleeding money. The economy crashed, and his partners bailed. They were sinking, and I was their only lifeline. Father exhaled. Ethan, we're family. Family helps each other. I burst out laughing. That's rich. You didn't care about family when you screwed me over. Now that you're broke, suddenly it's about family. Mother stiffened. You have more than enough to help. Why are you so spiteful? I stepped closer, voice low. Spiteful? Oh, spiteful would be me buying your house just to kick you out. Their eyes widened. Father's face paled. You wouldn't. I grinned. Wouldn't I? Because here's the thing. I'd been waiting for this. After Chloe's meltdown and their petty sabotage, I knew they'd come crawling. So I made a backup plan. While they were drowning in debt, I'd been buying property, expanding. And guess what? Their house, our childhood home, was listed by the bank, and I'd bought it. Mother's face went white. No, she whispered. You're lying. I pulled out my phone, scrolled, and showed the email. Ethan Reed, new property purchase confirmed. Father's hands shook. You bought our house? He croaked. I tilted my head. You mean the house you said wasn't my home anymore? The one where you let Chloe treat me like garbage. Mother grabbed my arm. Please, Ethan, we'll do anything. Don't take our home. I pulled away. Now you know what it feels like to have something ripped away. She started crying, but I didn't care. Then the final blow. I looked between them. You know what? I said slowly. I'm not heartless. I'll give you the house. Mother gasped. You will. Father let out a shaky breath. I grinned. Sure. On one condition. They nodded frantically. Anything. I pulled out a pen and paper, a contract I'd prepared. I'll let you live in it, but I own it, and you'll pay me rent every month. No delays. Mother's jaw dropped. Ethan, you can't be serious. I leaned in. Oh, I'm dead serious. Father swallowed. How much? I named my price. High. Very high. Fair for the market, but heavy enough they'd feel it every month. Mother's face twisted in horror. You're charging us to live in our own home? She spat. No, I said with a grin. I'm charging you to live in my home. Silence. Father exhaled. We don't have a choice, do we? I shrugged. Sure you do. Plenty of cheap motels in town. Mother glared, but she knew she'd lost. Slowly, with trembling hands, Father signed the contract. Mother snatched the pen, digging it into the paper so hard I thought she'd tear it. When they finished, I took the contract, folded it neatly, and slid it into my pocket. Pleasure doing business with you. I turned, leaving them standing there. Father slumped against the wall, rubbing his temples. Mother wiped her tears, her face a mask of pure shame. They'd spent their lives belittling me, laughing at me, treating me like nothing. Now I own their home. I own their future. I own them. As I walked back into my enterprise, I smiled. They thought I'd be nothing. Now I owned everything, and they had nothing.